Hi guys, welcome to Bethany's Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be doing my very first book haul. I just discovered BookTube in December and it has been just so great for my reading life to get those suggestions and to be so excited about books and excited about finding new books that really fit what I want to be reading. I just stumbled onto Chantel's BookTube page and that was how I was introduced to BookTube, which I just think was just a wonderful blessing, because I still like her channel is one of my favorites, and I just love the books that she recommends. Now, of course, I have a lot of other ones that I've been following for the past couple of months. So last year, according to Goodreads, I only read 17 books, which that could have been off, but it's probably right. And then this year, I think I'm already at 16 or maybe 17 for the first month and a half. This is my first BookTube video. I never thought I would want to start a YouTube channel at all. But because I've been so blessed by BookTube and because I'm just so excited, I talk to my family about the books that I'm reading, but they're just not quite as interested as I feel like the BookTube community might be. So I'm just really excited. I hope to make some more videos. I have a big order from Book Outlet, and then I also have a few Panko books, 2 that I ordered on Amazon this month, and then my Book of the Month box just got here today, so I'm going to open that with you guys as well. So we'll go ahead and get started with the Book Outlet one because it's definitely the biggest. This is Where the Road Ends by David Rawlings. This is a Christian fiction about 4 friends who agreed to meet up 15 years after their college graduation to go backpacking in Australia. And so some sort of strange storm happens, and so they have to deal with that. They also are just kind of learning things about themselves and each other because it's been 15 years since they've seen each other, I'm pretty sure. Next is The Lines Between Us by Amy Lynn Green. This is a Christian historical fiction set in World War II about 2 friends who, instead of enlisting, they decide to volunteer as smoke jumpers, I believe they call it. Yes, so they're parachuting into Oregon wildfires to try to extinguish them. It sounds really good. I'm excited about it. I accidentally got 2 in my Book Outlet order. That was just my mistakes. So one of them will probably be going on Pango or into my little free library or something like that. The next one, I don't have these in any order, by the way, just a pile. So the next one is 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis. I feel like I've seen some people on BookTube talking about this one. I think they're strangers, but they get stranded in a snowstorm and spend 8 hours together. So it sounds really good. I don't know that I'll read it yet. It's still wintry here, so I could read it right now, or I might save it for Christmas time. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited about it. The next one is Heartland by Kimberly Stewart. I don't know much about this one other than I know that she left her small town, went to New York, and then for some reason, I think she lost her job. And then so she ends up back in her hometown, and then she runs into the boy, now man, whose heart she broke and left 10 years ago. So it sounded pretty good. This one I'm really excited about because this was a recommendation from Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day. And I think she really liked this one. I think this is one of her favorites from last year, and it is a historical Christian fiction set in in the 60s, so Vietnam War. This book, What Comes After by Joanna Tompkins. I'm not really sure what to expect about this one. I'm pretty sure that there's an accident and 2 teenage boys in the town end up dying, and I'm not sure I say it was an accident. I don't really know if that's the truth. I'm not sure what happened, but it's kind of dealing with grief. I don't really know much about it other than that, and that's okay with me, and hopefully it's good. The next one is Shaped by the Waves by Christina Susan Nelson. This is a Christian fiction about a girl who again goes back to her small town after kind of fleeing when I'm pretty sure she had an unplanned pregnancy, and she ends up having to go back to her hometown. Yeah, so that's all I really know about that. Okay, this is The Incredible Winston Brown by Sean Dietrich. I love this cover. I think this reminds me of my hometown, so I was excited about that. This is about Winston Brown, who's the sheriff of this town, and then a girl shows up, like a child mysteriously shows up in town, I think, and so he's kind of trying to take care of her or figure out where she came from, where her parents are, and yeah, I don't know much else about this. I thought that was a nice little cover and sounded like a good story. Okay, so this is The Moonlight School by Suzanne Woods Fisher. I don't remember anything about this one, so I'm gonna read it really quick. Oh, okay, it's in Kentucky. I was getting like Pack Horse Librarian vibes from it, but I think that it's obviously about a school. I think, if I'm remembering right, it was about yes, okay, so inspired by true events. It brings to life the story that shocked the nation into taking adult literacy seriously. So yes, it's about a school for adults. This is Among the Innocent by Mary Alford. She grew up Amish and her entire family was murdered. And so then she left the community and decided to join the police force. And then something else happens in that community, and so I think she's going back in to investigate that. The next one is All That Fills Us by Autumn Little, I think. I hope that's right. This is just beautiful. I just love this. This is a Christian fiction about a girl struggling with an eating disorder, and I think her family is telling her that she needs to get help. She needs to go into a rehab, and she decides to go into the wilderness instead, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, next is Faithful by Kim Cash Tate. This is a story about three friends. Okay, so three women, kind of all in different situations. I believe one of them has never been married and is not happy about that. Like, it's taking too long. She thought she'd have kids and be married by this point. Another friend is, I believe, going through a divorce. Okay, not necessarily. It just says that she appears to have the perfect marriage and then finds out that her husband is having an affair. So I don't know if they're getting divorced. The third friend is just praying for her husband's salvation. It sounded so good to me. I love the title. I love stories like a big faith element and redemption, and it looked really good to me. The next one is The One You're With by Lauren Denton. So this is also a Christian fiction. Also, I think kind of like a marriage in trouble type story. It says, I remember it saying that like they seemed like the perfect couple, and then I'm pretty sure somebody shows up, like possibly a child of the husband, like an older child. They kind of work through that in their marriage and in their lives and kind of their image in the town. So yeah, that sounded really interesting to me. Okay, last one in the book outlet order is The Day the World Came to Town. This is a nonfiction. It's 9/11 in Gander, Newfoundland. This is the story about basically on 9/11 when the US shut down airspace. These planes were rerouted and landed in this town, and so it's just stories from that day and how those people were received, and it sounded really good. So I'll probably save this for around 9/11 time. Okay, I have two others from my book outlet order. that are picture books that I got for my son. And so I'm gonna show those. This is What a Beautiful Name. So inspired by the Hillsong Worship song, What a Beautiful Name It Is. So it was such a cute book. We love this song. My son loves this song, and it actually has the lyrics to the song in the back. The other one, it was a huge hit. I knew it would be. I was excited when I ordered it. And I want to get more from this author. So this is If I Built a School by Chris Van Dusen. And if you haven't seen these books, this one anyway, I don't have any others, but is so fun. It is just this kid who is imagining what it would be like if he built a school. So this is Jack, and this is his real school and his teacher, and he decides to tell her about what the school would look like if he built it. And it is just so fun. You just want to like go there and jump in. So the illustrations are great. Their creativity about just how this school would be created. These are the classrooms, like petals, blooming like flowers and petals, and the roof opens up and you travel in these tubes. It just is so fun. My son loved it. I loved it. So there's like, this is PE, where there's a pool around a trampoline basketball court and a rock climbing wall and sky, whatever that's called when you fake skydive, whatever that is. Anyway, oh yeah, they're in these little submarine bikes, I think he calls them. So fun. Here we go. If I built a car and if I built a house. So we will be getting those because this is so good. Okay, next we're gonna go over the two books that I bought on Amazon this month. The first one is The Rule of Three. This is like a post-apocalyptic, it's following a 16-year-old boy when just one day like the lights go out and computers shut down and nothing will work. And so he has an old truck that does work, and it just follows his story. I don't know much about it other than that it sounded really good, and it sounded like something that my teenage son might like. So I'm gonna read it first and then try to push it on him if it's good, because it sounded like a pretty fun story. The other one that I got on Amazon this month was kind of like a last minute Valentine's Day for myself buy. This is The Dating Charade by Melissa Ferguson. So I haven't read anything by Melissa Ferguson. I have wanted to get, I think it's Meet Me in the Margins, because it just looks super cute and fun. But since it's February and Valentine's Day, I decided to go with this one because it just looked super Valentine-y. So this is about a girl, and I don't know if it's gonna go back and forth between the two of them, but I know it's about she has been like online dating and it hasn't been going very well. She's having bad luck, and she finally meets a firefighter on a date, and they just really hit it off. Things are going really well, and then she ends up, I think both of them, I don't know this yet, I'm pretty sure it's both of them end up like becoming guardians for children. Like, I want to say 3 each. I don't know if that's true, but they both somehow get like some kids that that they're either temporarily or permanently responsible for. And I don't think they want to tell the other one that because they don't want to scare them away. So that's all I know. Like I said, I've been wanting to read something from this author, so I just decided to grab this one for myself for Valentine's Day. Okay, next we're gonna go over 3 books that I bought on Pango Books this month. The first one is Happiness for Beginners by Catherine Center. I love Catherine Center. I've already read this book. I heard someone talk about her books as like comfort reads, and that is so true. I just love picking up her books after I've read something that's been just really dark or heavy, or I don't read a lot of dark things, but just heavy. If I just want like a feel-good romance that's clean and but like good and just draws me into the characters, oh, Catherine Center, she'll do it every time. It's about a girl who is in her I think she was 32. I know she was really close to my age, so that was fun. But she got divorced and decided to go on this like crazy adventure course, 3 weeks like in the wilderness with this group of people trying to survive and learn. And anyway, her brother, who is quite a bit younger than her, I think like at least 10 years younger than her maybe, his friend is also going on it, and so she's pretty irritated about that because she wanted this to like be her thing. She didn't really want to go there and have anyone know her story or know her. And yeah, she's just always kind of been irritated by her little brother and by his friends, and she just thinks that they're kind of immature. And anyway, but he turns out to not be so bad. Such a good story. Once again, I love Catherine Center. I want to read everything that she's written. I'm excited because she has a new one coming out this year. The first book I read of hers was last year when The Bodyguard came out, and then I read the red one with an airplane on the front, How to Walk Away. Here it is. I read this one, loved it, and I also have this one that does not have the dust jacket. This is Things You Save in a Fire, and that's also by her. I haven't read it yet, so this is my next one on my TBR for her. So, love her. Okay, the next one is At Home in Midford, and I don't even really 100% know what this is about. I know it's a series, and I think it's a pretty big series, like maybe I want to say like 14 books, which sounds so overwhelming. I'm not a huge series reader. I only bought the first one, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna read it because I kind of feel like if I love it, then I need to buy 13 more books. Or no, that's a big list of books to read if I really love it, but I've heard good things about it. It's a Christian fiction. I'm excited to give it a shot sometime eventually. Like I said, the amount of books in the series kind of overwhelms me, but if it's really good, then that's a good thing, right? So we'll see. The other one is Terry Blackstock's If I'm Found. This is the second in a series. Oh, and here's my little card. I just noticed this before I started filming because this was a Pango order. So I got this cute little card thanking me for ordering, which is so sweet. So thank you. And then, so it is the second book in a trilogy. This was the first book, which I read in January. And this is my first Terry Blackstock. This is a Christian suspense. This book was about a girl who finds her best friend, who's a guy, murdered, and she has like this interesting backstory with the police in town, and she does not trust them, and she is afraid that they're going to blame her for murdering her friend. So she decides to run, and so it follows her story, her journey on the run, like creating a new identity and where she goes. And it was so good. I read it so fast, and it definitely is one of those books that I needed the book, the second book, right away. Like, so it kind of, left me on, I wanted to know more. I needed to know more. So it was really good. Okay, finally, the last two books. This is my book of the month order. I don't always get book of the month. A lot of times I'll skip, and sometimes it's so hit and miss for me. Sometimes I just love them, and sometimes I don't. And like the last one, the one before last, I DNF'd, and so that was no fun. So I'm trying to be really selective and just keep my eye out, and if there's books that are already kind of on my radar that show up on Book of the Month, then I'll order them. So this time there was one. There was one that I had already marked that I wanted to read on Goodreads. That was one of their picks for February. And then there was another one that I really wanted that was an add-on, so I added it on. Okay, so the actual February pick is River Sing Me Home. Look how beautiful this cover is. Oh, with the river. Oh my goodness, it's just so pretty. And the story sounds amazing. About a mother was a slave and had children that were then sold or sent away. And so then she finds out that the king has declared that the Emancipation Act. So she decides to go find her children. So this is her journey in doing that. So it sounds pretty just heartbreaking, and it's probably going to make me very sad, but I am looking forward to reading it. And like I said, just it's beautiful, and I've heard good things about it. So the other one is Part of Your World, which I started on audio, and I've also heard really good things on BookTube about this one. And I started it on audio, and at first I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it, but somebody, I think it was Liv from Liv's Library, said, I think she said that it kind of gave her like Virgin River vibes, which I loved that show. So and then so once I had that in my mind, and then I could kind of picture that town and that scenario, so anyway, then I started it, and then I was like, okay, I want to get this book. Okay guys, so that's all of the books that I got in February, which was kind of big. I definitely don't plan on doing that every month, but I appreciate you being here for this long book haul, and I hope to see you again soon.